Who was the worst in person? Hi everyone. Hi. Hello, hello. We made it. We survived TwitchCon. I mean, survived. Thrived at TwitchCon. I freaking loved TwitchCon. Oh my gosh. I got to meet so many super cool people. A couple of them signed the back because I was running out of space. TwitchCon, I felt so comfortable. Like the whole time, I was always finding people to like just be chatting with and talking with. And like everyone was so comfortable. Everyone was there for the same reason, you know? So it just had like amazing energy. I was screaming my lungs out at MCC. I was screaming my lungs out at Twitch Rivals later in the week. Oh my god, it was so cool. It was so cool. I can't say it enough. Friday is when I actually got to come face to face with the most amount of people. I saw Tubbo like right at the very beginning when he started his stream because I just like walked into the lobby looking for someone. But I saw Tubbo and Fit and I totally could have walked up to them because no one else was like around. I got too nervous. I saw them and I was like, I can't do it. And I just walked right past them the first time. I was like, oh my god, it's Tubbo. And then I was like, look straight ahead. I was too nervous. So then I was like, I have to redeem myself because I have something to give Fit and I have something to give Tubbo. So Tubbo had like a little line of people at the time when I first found them. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was kind of standing in line waiting to like get up to Tubbo. And then I looked to my right and there's Fit. And he was just alone. He was just standing there. Like some girls were like walking away from him. And I was like, oh shit. I love Fit. I watch Fit's streams like every single day because he's one of the first ones to hop onto the QSMP. So I turn it on in the background of my work and I watch Fit. So bad. So I walked up to Fit. Fit was the first creator that I talked to at TwitchCon. I was shaking so bad. I'm like trying to get this bracelet like out of the bag. I have like a water bottle and a bag and my phone and like too many things in my hands. I'm trying to get this bracelet. Gave Fit the bracelet and I was like, oh, I made this for you. Like, I love Ramon so much. He's like one of my favorite eggs. Like, I was so awkward. I was just, he was definitely like very sweet. I'm sure you could tell that I was super nervous. So I was like, I made this bracelet for you. And I was like, I love Ramon. He's like my favorite egg. Because I do love Ramon so much. I love Ramon. Oh my god, he's a little baby. And he goes like, oh, he's my favorite egg too. And I was like, yeah, like as he should be. And then I kind of like turned and saw that Tubbo was free. And then at that moment, Tubbo walks up and is like spinning underneath the camera and had the camera like straight in his face. It was like spinning under it. And I was like, oh, maybe I should wait another second. I just stood next to Fit for a second because I was like, what do I do? I was like here to talk to Tubbo and now I already talked to Fit and I was already nervous and weird in front of Fit. So what do I do? So I just like stood there for a second until I was like, ah! And that's when I walked up and was like, hey, Tubbo, I have this bracelet for you. And I was shaking so bad. And I said, I'm so sorry, I'm shaking so bad. And then I gave it to him and I said, Fred, which is like a joke about the QSMP. And he rolled his eyes at me. He just turned and rolled his eyes. He's like, Fred! And I literally hadn't been able to watch streams for like the week before TwitchCon. So I did not know that I legitimately did not know that Fred was missing. So he goes, Fred, you know that he's missing? And I was like, I haven't really been able to watch streams. I'm so sorry. And then he turned away from me and like, he didn't say bye or anything. I think that he just had other things going on and like no hate on Tubbo. Like I was walking into his stream, but he didn't say bye or anything. So I awkwardly stand there for a minute. Like, was he gonna turn back to me? And it was so loud. I couldn't hear that he had like totally moved on. So I was just standing there and then I was like, now I'm being weird. Now I have to go. I literally stood there for a second and I was just like, just standing in the background. I hate myself for that, but it's totally fine. It's fine. Because then I went to get a spot for MCC and my wonderful friend has saved me a spot in the second row in like kind of the foolish section. It was so cool. It was a good and bad experience because you get to watch the Twitch Rivals stream. Well, here's first part. You don't see your streamers because just like me, if someone was standing in front of me or like sitting in front of me, you're not going to see my face. You're going to see the back of the monitor. So that is what it was a lot of the time, is you just see their monitors. But it was still super cool to cheer on, like you're watching a football game with everyone around you at a bar or something. I don't do that, but this is probably what it was like. Everyone around you is cheering for people. They were interviewing people from the audience, and so many people they were like, who are you here for? Foolish. So, like, almost every single person that they interviewed was for Foolish, so that was super cool. I met some people in the audience. I got a picture with Nikki Niachu, and I got to give her the bracelet that I made for her, so I was super happy to see her there. And then I met Boomer NA, and then earlier I had met Foolish's sisters, Ems and Moo, in line outside to get in, and I had been wearing 2 green geckos bracelets. And I was wearing 2 blue bats bracelets, which the bats were for BadBoyHalo and the gecko were for Foolish to represent their teams. So I had seen them and I was like, oh my god, I want to give them something. And I like said hi. I was like, hi Moo, hi Ems. And then I was like, shit, what do I do? And I was like, oh, do you want these? There's these bracelets that I'm wearing. I'm like, do you want these? And they're the green geckos bracelets. And Moo was like, sure. Just kind of being sarcastic about it. I was like, so you can cheer on Foolish? So I give them the bracelets, but I like hadn't done anything else because we were just like in line to get inside. So then they were sitting like 2 rows behind me. So I like went over to them and I was like, hey, like I gave you those bracelets earlier, but like I didn't, like, could I get a picture with you guys now? So I got a picture with Ems and with Moo. Ems was so freaking sweet. Ems was like, oh my god, I had been like checking out your outfit before you even approached us and gave us the bracelets, by the way. And I was like, no freaking way, like I have loved your pink hair. Your pink hair partly inspired my pink hair. So we watched MCC. So after MCC, none of the teams that I was cheering for won, but we did get to see Foolish fist fight Tubbo, kind of. And we got to be in the same room as all of that energy, which was so, so cool. After MCC, they had a little meet and greet thing, and they had listed a couple people on there, like mostly people that I didn't really watch except for like Gumi. And I was like, well, I'm still gonna go to it just so I can say hi to Gumi. And then almost everyone ended up sitting down. So I met Pete, who is Pizza Hut. He was so nice. He was just like, how's your day going? And I was like, good, like this is my first TwitchCon. And he's like, oh, this is my first TwitchCon. And just like so genuinely nice. And then I met Gumi, was sitting next to them, and then it went Piso, and then Tubbo, Foolish, BadBoyHalo, which like I love Tubbo, Foolish, BadBoyHalo, so I was like, oh my god, right out of the gates, I just get slapped in the face by all my faves. So I had them sign my badge first, Tubbo, Foolish, BadBoyHalo. So sweet. To Tubbo, I was like, Tubbo, I just gave you the Fred bracelet a little bit ago, but I like as an apology for the Fred bracelet, can I give you the Cheyenne bracelet? Because I had a little yellow Cheyenne bracelet. And he was like, yes, of course, I would love that. And then Pisa was like, oh, those beads are so cool. And I was like, thank you. And then came Foolish. I don't remember what I even said to Foolish. I think I was just too nervous. I was like, can you sign this? And then I was like, and I have these 2 bracelets for you. I don't even think I described the bracelets at all. I was just like, here's these 2 bracelets. I think maybe I said like, here's a Foolish and here's a Leo. But like what I do remember, I kind of blacked out. What I do remember though is that he like was genuinely so sweet. You know, he wasn't just like an, oh, thanks. It was, he like looked at them and he like looked up at me and was like, thank you so much. And I was like, like I just remember made eye contact and like he genuinely was just like so, like I said, like genuinely so sweet. Every single one of them was so sweet. But I remember because I was like kind of looking down at my badge and like fiddling with it. And I was like, Callie, you have to look up because he's looking at you. So I like looked up and he was just like smiling and holding the bracelets and I was like, so sweet. What a sweet man. Wish I got to see more of him, but that's okay. I only saw him the one time. So sweet. So sweet though. And then BadBoyHalo was next. And again with BadBoyHalo, I like kicked myself afterwards. I was like, gosh darn it. I like saw BadBoyHalo and I was like, Bad, are you still doing your meet and greet tomorrow? I think that's exact. I was just like, how's it going? Are you still doing your meet and greet tomorrow? Because I had 3 bracelets that I wanted to give Bad. And I was like, but I'm going to his meet and greet. Because I'd heard that Skeppy was sick and not there, and Bad was doing a meet and greet with Skeppy. So I was like, are you still doing your meet and greet tomorrow? And he said yes. And I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna give you this one for now. This is a Dapper bracelet, and I will like give you the other ones later. And I think it just moved along. I think that's literally all I said. I was like, can I get your signature here? And that's all I want. So sorry, Bad. I was kicking myself. I was like, I don't, like, my worst fear was just, like, treating them as, like, a photo op. Like, obviously that was part of it, but, like, I wanted to treat them like a person, too. And I felt so bad because I felt like for Foolish and for Bad, I was just too nervous that I treated them like a photo op or just like a, let me get your signature. Okay, bye. Like, I was just nervous. So I felt really bad for that, and I was kicking myself so hard. I was like, I need to rehearse what I'm saying in BadBoyHalo's meet and greet tomorrow because I'm so mad that I said nothing of substance right there, you know? I don't even know if I said hello. Because then I moved on to Fruit Berries, and I was like, hi, Fruit, like, how are you? How's your day going? And he, like, I was, like, really trying to, like, I was trying to be so good. Because I was saying something to Fruit about, like, oh, like, it must be so tiring to be on that side of the table. Like, my nerves are shot being on this side. Like, I can't imagine being on that side. Meaning, like, 1,000 people. And I, like, looked over at Bad, and Bad was, like, nodding along to what I was saying. And I was like, don't look at me. I didn't say that. I was just like, yeah, like, and then I pieced. But there were, again, so many people. And I was just like, how was your day? I hope you're doing great. They gave us these little things to get signatures on, but I asked for a second one because I had too many signatures. Because a lot of people were like just getting their favorites and then leaving, but I wanted to get everyone, so I have everyone's. I said hi to Sneak Snag, and I was like, oh my god, you're a father, like congrats on being a father. And whoever was sitting next to him, I think CPK, was like, oh my god, you're a father now, like you're a whole father. And then to Kara, I said like, oh, I saw your tweet about being a Taylor Swift video. That's so cool. And then Elena sitting next to her was like, you're in a Taylor Swift video? So that was really funny. That was very sweet. Who else? Ranboo. You guys, I got to meet Ranboo again. Look, Ranboo. I got to meet Ranboo again. Maybe highlight was that I said hi to Ranboo, and I was like, hey Ranboo, can you sign this? And I was like, I actually met you like 2 years ago at Mr. Beast's Squid Game. And they like stopped and like looked up at me. I was like, oh my god. They kind of like looked me up and down. I was like, I think I remember you. I think I said something like, I looked totally different. I didn't have bangs or pink hair, but I like said hi to you a lot while we were there. Like I was talking with you on the side, like, and I kind of like explained the situation. And they're like, oh my god, I'm still gonna make that video, by the way. I don't know if anyone remembers. Forever ago, when I was at this thing, Ranboo had said, like, I'm gonna make a video. And they were there to make a video. They were not featured in Squid Game at all. They were there to make a video. And they were like, I'm still gonna make that video. And I was like, please, Ranboo. I've told so many people that. And you need to do it because they're gonna think I'm crazy. Like, they've thought I'm crazy for 2 years. Please do it. You have to do it, Ranboo. So I'm really hoping that they do that. I think I said, like, so much has changed since then, and, like, it's so cool to see you. And they said I was the first person that has claimed, or confessed, whatever, that they've met from Squid Games. So that was super, super cool. So sweet. Such a sweet person. I had always wanted to see Ranboo again, because they were genuinely the sweetest person in the world. And I was also afraid that I was too overbearing. When we were there in person, because I was using them as like a good luck charm. We'd always be like, where's Ranboo? Where's Ranboo? I need a fist bump before I go into this game. I'm glad you had a good experience like that with all of them. They were so sweet, like the sweetest people. And a bunch of people that I'm like, now I need to check them out. Let's see, the people that surprised me the most out of that, I guess it would be Ranboo. Like, Ranboo was so cool. But I was also so pleasantly surprised by Hannah Rose, up here, up, and Jack Manifold. I have not been a huge fan, sorry. I've never been a huge fan of Jack Manifold, and I hate to say that, but his comedy is just not my comedy. And he was the very last person in the line. Well, first of all, I said hi to Hannah. Hannah was so sweet. I asked her if she wanted one of my blue bats bracelets. She was like, oh my god, I would love one. Like, this is so cool to have. And then she gave me a little card that was like, so great to meet you. See you soon. It was super, super cool. And then Jack Manifold was supposed to be an MCC, but he missed it. And I was like, hey, Jack, so good to see you. Like, were you out partying with QSMP people too late? And he's like, yeah, I like didn't think I would sleep through 4 alarms. And like just had such like a good back and forth little banter with Jack Manifold. So that was really cool. They were all so sweet. I made sure to say hello to the Hermit Crafters who were all sitting together, like Gemini Tay. I asked how Scar was doing because Scar had like some medical problems on the way there. So I was like, hopefully you're getting some rest, and they're so cool. They're all so cool. Saturday was mostly my meet and greet day. So I had a meet and greet bright and early. So I was there in line to meet Forever at 10 a.m. Forever. So, I cannot I will never say enough sweet things about Forever. Forever, little autograph and a little smiley face right above my name. Forever, so freaking sweet. Like, sweetest man ever. He like was welcoming everyone with just like a big hug. Like, he gives me a hug. He immediately is just like, give a hug. Like, he just walks up to you when you're next in line. It's just like, ah! Like, he's so excited to give a hug. So I like gave him a hug and I was like, oh my god, I was so excited for your hug because like it just looks so like sweet. And he like gives me another hug and then he's like, thank you so much for coming. And I was like, thank you for coming. What do you mean? And he's like, I was talking with Fit yesterday and like I thought that there would be like 5 people in line. And I was like, Forever, you're huge. Like, you mean a lot to us. And he was just like so humble, so sweet. His line was super, super long. He only had 1 hour, but he was not the kind of person who was just like, I'll give you a hug. I'll sign something, we'll take a quick picture and go. He was like literally so grateful for every single person that was in his line, and it was so sweet. Oh, I gave him a wrist rest bracelet. I also gave him a wrist rest bracelet, and it was so sweet because he just kind of like put his hand out like this, and I was like trying to get it on his hand, and he was like, oh, it's a little small, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, no, I just got big like big wrists, and I was like, I'm so sorry that I made it a little small. But he was like super sweet about it. And then I was like, okay, we take a picture together. He's like, oh, of course. I like handed him my phone and I was like, can you take it? He had been taking like everyone's selfies just because he's like, you know, taller. And like the lighting was really weird and harsh. It was just like one spotlight. So if you weren't directly in this spotlight, like your picture was just super dark. So he like pivoted us so that we're standing in like the spotlight. And I was like, could you take the picture? I'm like a little bit shaky right now. So he goes to take the picture and he like snaps one and then he like looks at me and he goes, don't be shaky, and like pulls me closer. It was just like, get in here, and then takes 2 more. Like, just the sweetest man in the world. Like, so sweet. I was just like, oh. Like, cause we were just like standing, you know, like, dip, 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 you know, take a quick picture, and then he's like, bah. He's just like, get in here, don't be shaky. And I was just like, ah, so sweet. And then I think I got another hug, and then I left. Almost immediately after that, I had to go back around to get in BadBoyHalo's line. So I had BadBoyHalo meet and greet next. So shout out to BadBoyHalo. And remember, I'd been kicking myself for not saying something more substantial to him when I met him the day before. So I was like trying to go through lines and be like, what can I say? What am I gonna say? I was also pretty early to BadBoyHalo's. He met the first couple people by himself. And then Captain Puffy, his friend Captain Puffy, came out, and then she did meet and greets with him, which I think he definitely got a little bit more comfortable once Puffy was there, because Puffy was super good at like the banter and like adding things in and being like, oh, you guys take a picture, okay, like then I'll take a picture with you and I'll sign and I'll hug, like treated it like her own meet and greet, which was super cool. So I got up there and I first hugged Puffy. I was like, Puffy! And Puffy has black hair with pink underlayer. So I was like, I love your hair. And she's like, I love your hair. I was like, we're kind of matching. And then I turned to Bad. So I know that BadBoyHalo, I watch his streams all the time. I know that he's not like a super physical touch person. So I walk up and I was like, is it okay if I give you a hug? I asked, I did my best. I asked and he was like, yeah. So I like go to give him a hug and I give him a hug. And at the same time I ask, how is your finger, Bad? Because like 2 days before TwitchCon, his stream title was like, I think I broke my finger, and he talked about how he thought he broke his finger, and he's like, I'm gonna tape it up, it'll be fine, I'm still going to TwitchCon. And he's just like, oh, look, it hurts. And Puffy goes, what did you do to your finger? Like, she didn't know. And he's just casually like, oh, I think I broke it. And Puffy's like, did you go to the doctor? And he's like, no. Which is so BadBoyHalo, if you don't know. And then I was like, you said you were gonna tape it up. Did you tape it up? And he goes, no, I didn't do that either. And I was like, BadBoyHalo, what the heck? Then I give him 2 bracelets. I'm like, okay, this one is for BadBoyHalo. It says Bad. And then I was like, and this one was meant for Skeppy. It says Skep. And I go to hand it to Bad. And then Puffy is like, I'll take that, because Bad had called her Discount Skeppy. And she takes it. And I had asked the staff lady. I'd like kind of been talking with the staff lady in line. And I'd asked if she could just keep taking pictures. So I have a bunch of pictures of me meeting Bad and Puffy, because she really did just keep taking pictures. And I appreciate it so much. I have the like most funny shocked face of BadBoyHalo like taking it, or like her taking it from BadBoyHalo. That was freaking hilarious. And then I was like, oh, Puffy, like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that I was going to meet you, but I like pulled this pink one out of my bag for you. And like, I had just so happened to make a pink one that didn't have any like words on it. It wasn't like made for Tallulah or anything. So I gave that to Puffy, and she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. So then I asked if I could take a picture, and I kind of like pivoted, and Bad was like, oh, don't you want to be in the middle? And I was like, oh, sure, I'll be in the middle. And this is how I tried to play it with every creator, especially from then on out, because Forever was a bad example where he was just like, give me a hug. I'll give you 5 more hugs. Like, Puffy immediately like put her arm around my shoulder, and then Bad just kind of stood there. So I like put my arm around Puffy, and then I just did a little peace. So I got a really cool picture with Bad and with Puffy, and they're so cute. They're so sweet. And I felt like I redeemed myself in that situation, because I was like, I was making conversation. We were joking around. Oh, I forgot to mention. I think it was right before the picture that I did a little sentimental moment, because I really like BadBoyHalo. I was like, I love your advice streams, like you're so wise. And then Puffy cut in, she's like, from the guy who broke his finger, I won't go to the doctor. Or it said something like, you're saying that to the guy who broke his finger, won't go to the doctor. And I was like, okay, medically, maybe don't take your advice. But I was like, but you said something about baggage a couple months ago, and his like eyes like lit up, like he was just like, whoa, like surprised that I like knew exactly the topic that I was talking about, or maybe that he remembered the thing that I was talking about. But I was like, you said something about baggage and like being able to leave it behind, and that like really meant a lot. I loved hearing that, and it was something that I like needed to hear in that moment, because he did say it at a time that I was like, wow, that meant a lot. I think that was about it for meeting BadBoyHalo. Also, when I was like in BadBoyHalo's meet and greet line, his meet and greet I think was starting like an hour and a half after Forever's, but Forever was taking so long that he finished during BadBoyHalo's meet and greet. Like his meet and greet ended up being like 2.5 hours. He was taking so long with every person, which like all of us appreciated, I'm sure. So sweet. So then right after that, I think I had like, you know, a little bit of time. I got some food, and then I went to Fit's meet and greet. So I got to meet Fit. Where did he sign it? He definitely signed it on here somewhere. He has like this teeny tiny little signature on the side. FitMC. I don't know what I said to Fit. Oh, I don't know why I did this. This is one of those instances where it's just like, why am I talking? I said that I loved his editing style that he does in his little lore bits, but I still haven't watched one of his YouTube videos. So I complimented him on the editing. I was like, the editing for your little lore bits is so cool. Like it just blows me away every time. It looks amazing. And he's like, oh, thank you. And I was like, I'll have to watch your YouTube. And I was like, I know that makes me a bad fan. Sorry, but like I haven't seen your YouTube yet. And he's like, no, that doesn't make you a bad fan. And I was like, a new fan. Like, I really did genuinely find you through the QSMP. And then took some selfies together. And the first one, we were just like smiling. And then Fit did like a blue steel face. So like at the very last second, he was like about to snap the picture. And I changed mine to like a face as well, because that's what he was doing. And like right after the picture, he just laughed. Because I think he just wasn't expecting like me to change my pose like he changed his, you know. I think that was just like somehow unexpected, where I was just like in like the last second I was like because I saw that his face changed. So that was hilarious. And then I said bye to Fit. So nice. That day is when like Pac was there, Etoile was there, Foolish was there, Quackity ended up being there that night. Selbit was there. So many people were there. And me and Carrie Ann were like seeing all these pictures posted on Twitter of people meeting them around the convention. And we're like, okay, we are going to wander around the convention and try to find them. We did not find one person. There were like 5 of them that were there. We couldn't find any of them. Well, at first we were looking for Selbit. We kind of figured that he went straight up to like the partner lounge. But we knew Foolish was on the expo floor. So we're like, we're going to go find Foolish on the expo floor. We did so many freaking rounds. And we would like run into someone that I knew. Like we ran into Perla at one point. And we're like, have you seen Foolish? And she's like, oh, he was just over here. But his sisters were kind of like dragging him away. I think he went that way. So we like, I think we were just like right ahead of Foolish somehow. Just like missed him by a little bit. That if like we had turned around at one point, he probably would have been like right behind us. Because based on like the pictures and the timestamps, we were just at that booth. What, like 12 minutes ago, and then it's like a timestamp of like 9 minutes ago that they posted that picture, and we're like, dang it, like literally he must have been right behind us and we missed him the whole time. I ran into Austin's show. I ran into Austin's show, and I got his signature. Where did I throw my TwitchCon badge? Right here. Ba-ba-da. Austin show. I was like, hi Austin, like I was one of the people competing for Foolish. And I was like, I didn't make it. And he's like, oh, well, it was hard competition, you know, there were a lot of people going for it. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then I like asked him for a picture, and then I told him, because I know that he's a Minnesota Vikings fan. And I was like, I live in Minnesota. And he goes, that's so cool. And I'm like, except I'm from Wisconsin, so I'm a Packers fan. And he like he went to fake punch me. So that was funny. I met him just so briefly on the con floor. And then after all of that, I was like, whatever, I need a second. It's been a long day. I'm going to go back to the hotel. And then I guess right at like freaking closing time, Quackity just appeared there. And Perla, bless her heart, was trying to keep me in the loop and was like, Quackity's out here. And I was like, I left the con. I'm not even in the con anymore. But it's fine. I wish that I'd been able to meet a few more people. I had so many wristbands for them. Do I have them over here? Yeah, I still have a whole bag of things. I gave away probably half of the ones that I made for creators. I was able to see them. But I still have like half a bag left. I can't believe I never found a Twal. I'm sure that I walked past him a lot. Because apparently he was on the expo floor a lot. And I never found him. And I did have a bracelet for him. And then, this is just the first one. Just the first one. But I made them bracelets. I didn't get to get them all out. The next day was Twitch Rivals. Twitch Rivals was pretty much the only thing that I did on Sunday. Was go to Twitch Rivals. Because Jaden, Bagheera, Selbit, and Atwal were participating in Twitch Rivals. Like, Twitch Rivals, craziest atmosphere. But I was so happy to see the amount of, like, QSMP cheers. Like, it was so loud. And the commentators said that. They were like, we can't even talk into our microphones because you can't hear us over the people cheering for QSMP. So for Twitch Rivals, the person that I will admit, I really wanted to meet Jaden. And I think I don't know if she waved back, but I definitely was like yelling because everyone was yelling. And I chose a seat that was like 15 to 20 feet away from Jaden. And I was like screaming, like cheering them on really loud. And I waved a little bit. I think Selbit was the one who was just constantly waving. Selbit seemed like the sweetest person in the world. He was going up to like every single creator that he could talk to. And it looked like he was just being like, nice to meet you, man. How are you? So sweet. So, like, Selbit looked adorable. But yes, we were cheering like crazy. My voice was already kind of shot from like cheering for a lot of stuff all weekend. But I was cheering my heart out for all of the Twitch Rivals. Like, it was so cool because there was at one point when it was Dream's team versus the QSMP team. And they were competing for like 1 point. And there's a different match going on for like 4 points. Like, they were competing for like bottom of the barrel, like didn't matter points. But they put their things on the Twitch Rivals display because I think they knew how big the audiences were. And like cheering like it was a freaking Super Bowl. Like, losing my mind cheering. I would love to go back and watch that Twitch Rivals. and hear everyone cheering because I'm sure that it was so wild. I've seen a couple clips of that one where they're like trying to introduce Team Bagheera and they're like, Team Bagheera, like, you cannot hear us anything. It is just the crowd going wild. Just the crowd going wild. So that was really cool. And I really hope that they like felt the love from all of that because I was so excited to see them and be cheering them on even though they lost. After Twitch Rivals, I left Twitch Rivals a little teeny tiny bit early because I had to go meet Tina. I had to go meet Teenza. So I have Tina's autograph here. Teeny, tiny little TinaKitten in the corner. This is another one where like, she seemed very nervous. Poor Tina. But here's the thing. She was 25 minutes late for her meet and greet that was supposed to be 2 hours. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I thought my meet and greet was at 4, but it's at 3. I'm on my way, but it was still 25 minutes late. This was the last meet and greet of the convention. So like it was supposed to be done at 5. And this is the one time that they were like, you need to be done at 5. You're done at 5. And because I stayed in Twitch Rivals, I was towards the very end of the line. And then she was 25 minutes late. So Tina, my beloved, I think she was stressed because of that, because the workers kept coming around. There's like, you guys really have to hurry up. Like, you cannot take any more time. We need, like, it's a hard stop at 5. And they like, were counting the people. And I was like, that's less than 30 seconds a person. Or like, it's less than a minute per person. And eventually I was like, that's more like 30 seconds per person of how many people were there. So it was very rushed. And I just feel like I didn't say much to her at all. I was like, hi, Tina. And I was like, can I give you a hug? I gave her a little hug. And then I was like, do you mind if I sign this? Because I was trying to hurry. There were people behind me. And it was like so close to 5. I asked her to sign this. And then I was like, okay, can we get a picture quick? And I asked her if we could do a little like heart. Boop. We have a little picture going, dee. Hearts. Oh, I give her a bracelet. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. I really don't think that she was getting many bracelets, which is surprising. So then she had to take off. I had to take off. And then I feel like that was about it. Oh, after that, I attempted to go see the Cutie Cinderella Whine About It panel. So the line was like wrapped around the entire freaking venue. And I got to the end of the line and I was like, there's no way that I'm going to make it into this panel. And I think they filled it completely full. Like people standing in the back, like so full. So at the same time was the Dream panel. And I was like, well, if I'm not going to make it into this one, I bet I can make it into the Dream panel because it's in a much bigger room. I went over there and I watched the Dream panel. I was mostly there to see BadBoyHalo. But I took pictures. There was Hannah XX Rose, Awesome Dude, Dream, PM Bada, George, Sylvie, BadBoyHalo, and Puffy. And then they had some special guests. They had Spreen out for a little bit. I guess before I got there, they had one of Dream's bodyguards. And then they had a girl named Dear Gia, or Gia. I guess she's a Spanish creator. That was everything. And I think after that, I wandered around. Oh, that was actually when I wandered and I found Cidion and Peter Park. Boop. And I had seen Peter Park like 5 times by then. I don't know why. I just kept seeing him everywhere. And it's so funny because I would just go, hi, Peter. And he'd go, hi. Like, I think he like was just like, I wasn't asking him for anything. I was literally just saying hi every time I saw him. So I think he was just like, who is this girl who's saying hi to me, but like not asking for anything until the very end. And then I saw him and I was like, well, now I gotta get a picture with him. And I did that with a few people and I felt bad. I literally did that with a couple people. Like I was walking and I saw Trisha as a birdie. And I think I said that one quietly enough that she didn't hear me, thankfully. But one time, so embarrassing, I was walking and like JHB from 100 Thieves walked like right past me. And I was with 2 friends. So I went, oh, it's JHB. But I didn't think I said it that loudly. Why does this man turn around? Because then the friend behind, it was like, oh, who? And it goes, hi, JHB. And I turn around to look again, and JHB was just like staring straight at me because he heard me say hi, like, oh, it's JHB. And he's just staring straight at me, and I was just like, because by then he was like a little bit further away because I had like kept walking, you know? And I was just like, why? I need to keep my mouth shut. I should have just asked him for a picture at that point. Like, why did I just be like, oh, I know you, and then not done anything. I was like, I need to stop doing that. I need to stop. Someone tape my mouth closed. I should not be doing that. JHP was just staring at me because I said his name, and he was just like, who's the girl who said my name, you know? Just so casually. It's just, hey, it's me. Sorry, JHP. Sorry about that. That's awkward. Sorry. What else? I think that's about it. TwitchCon. I'm so glad that I went. I am hoping that I can make it to the one next year. That's all I've got. Overall, everyone was so freaking kind. Like Laura was saying, just like, I really was just like in my element, and I felt so comfortable. I felt so welcomed by everyone. I was just like, this is my place. This is where I'm meant to be, like way more than anywhere else. So one of the biggest things was that I like just felt so comfortable and like accepted and like loved, and like I fit right in, and like I could walk around by myself, and I was so comfy, and like I would just talk with whoever I wanted to talk to, like in a meet and greet line, who I was sitting next to at like one of the events that I went to. Like everyone was just so friendly and so chill and so welcoming. And it's like because we were all there for like the same reason, you know, we were all just so excited to be meeting our favorite creators. We all are on Twitch, or at least, you know of Twitch and everything. Like it was just so cool. It was such a cool experience. Okay, everyone, goodbye. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening to all of my stories about TwitchCon. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.